So today I'm going to be speaking about the ideal nervous system state, because it's good for us to be aware of what is it that we're actually working towards, what is the goal, and what is the ideal state for us to be holding and coming from. So in the context of the three different nervous system states as delineated in the Polyvagal theory, it's obvious that the ventral vagal state, the social engagement system, is the ideal state to be in and to be holding and coming from as our home base. However, that doesn't mean that we want to fully transcend and never experience the other two nervous system states, because we still need them. The difference is, where are we coming from? Because there is such thing as co-activation, where you can have more than one nervous system activated at the same time. And sometimes that's exactly what is needed, because sometimes we need that mobilization energy that's part of the fight or flight response to take action, to take appropriate action, move out of the way of the bus that's coming or the actual physical threat that's there. And same with the dorsal vagal immobilization response. We need the conservation energy that's associated with that state of being for the healing and the repair and the restoration. However, it's very different depending or not if we're anchored in the ventral vagal state. To be anchored in the ventral vagal state and then consciously utilizing the other two nervous system states appropriately, instead of losing our conscious awareness and getting fully swept up with the mobilization energy and coming from fear, and the action that we're taking is more likely going to be potentially more erratic, but it's coming more from fear, so it's not going to be as wise of choice if we are maintaining our awareness with the ventral vagal at the same time. And same if we are not holding that ventral vagal and we are just gone completely into that dorsal vagal immobilization response, then we've gone completely into separation, withdrawn, disconnect. And the sense of stillness that you have in that state is from a sense of separation and kind of lifelessness. As opposed to if we're holding the ventral vagal, that sense of stillness is completely different. It's alive and it's more from a place of oneness and unity. And then that energy can more be used for our healing and repair and our restoration. So a little bit more into the ventral vagal state. So there is more of a feeling of safety and security within yourself, knowing that this sense of safety and security comes from within. It's not based on something outside of ourselves. If our sense of safety and security comes from anything outside of ourselves, then to some degree it's always going to be under threat, because we cannot control our external environment. So that's also part of the process with learning to hold the state more, is more and more coming from within, having a sense of security, including things like our sense of self-acceptance and self-esteem. Healthy self-esteem comes from within, and the sense of security comes from trusting yourself that you're going to stay and that you're going to be there for yourself no matter the experience. So there's also the ability to face stresses and challenges whilst remaining present, because it's never about never experiencing challenges or stress. We need to some degree stress and challenges to continue to grow and evolve, and to then come out the other side stronger, wiser, more compassionate, more loving for having undergone the challenge, the experience, whatever it is. So from this state, we're able to face the challenges and stresses whilst staying with ourselves, whilst remaining present. In the other two defensive states, we, to some degree, we either go in front of ourselves or we withdraw. We're not fully present. We have polarized to some degree, and to some degree we're avoiding and denying the experience that we are having. Also, in this state, we're able to remain connected and engaged with self, others, and with life. And from that, we're more able to employ empathy and compassion, because in this state, we're more expansive, we're less insular like we are with the other two defensive states. And our cup is more filled up, so to speak. So we have more to give, we have more of the overflow to give and share, and we experience more of a sense of oneness and unity. So we're naturally more considerate of others and more empathetic and compassionate. And in this state, we're also more able to be open and receptive with appropriate boundaries. We need to have boundaries because not everyone and everything has our best interest at heart. So we don't want to be open and receiving everything. However, we do want to be open and receptive and receive the energy that is about our upliftment and love and support. So in this state, we're more actually able to receive it, because sometimes that is the struggle to actually receive it. In the other two nervous system states, we can get quite defensive, and the way that we've kept ourselves safe is to keep everything out, including the love, including the support, including the upliftment. So we want to, more in this state, we actually do want to be able to receive the love and support that is there, because it's only then going to help us heal, grow, and evolve. And in this state, there's more authenticity without the coping masks or substances. So this state is the social engagement state. So being social is part of it. However, it's different as opposed to being, you can be social, but it's not necessarily from a place from authenticity. A lot of our protective and defensive mechanisms can be at play, and manipulating our environment to appear a certain way to keep ourselves safe, or playing a role, whatever it is. Sometimes it can be appropriate. Sometimes we do need to play a certain role or have a certain mask, but it's very different if we're doing it consciously and from a place of self-love and self-respect, as opposed to doing it to keep ourselves safe because there's fear we're not going to be accepted or belong, or some sort of threat to our self-esteem. So authenticity is a key part of this state. That's not necessarily there in the other two nervous system states. So in this state also, there's the ability to connect with something greater than yourself, which is exciting, and it's a relief to not take ourselves so serious and get so caught up in our own little reality, and to be able to be open and connect with something beyond ourselves. And this is again more with that sense of oneness and unity and consideration of others, and that there is something greater than ourselves where more of our true belonging can come in. So being able to connect more with the soul that we are and the spirit that we are a part of. So that's a little bit more about this state. I also just wanted to reiterate the point with the co-activation, that it's, if we're experiencing anything from the other two nervous system states, that's perfectly okay. We don't want to be excluding any experience. We're acknowledging, accepting, and embracing all experiences. And in fact, that is a vital part for us to actually be anchored in the ventral vagal, is to be fully embracing all of life, to clear the defensive patterns, which are more about the avoidance and denial, which is what I covered in my last video. So that's all for today's video. I'm keeping it simple, just wanted to have it there as a resource of what is it that we're working towards, what is the goal, and where is our home base, where do we want to be coming from, and what that might look like. So thank you for watching. If you did enjoy it, please do like and please subscribe to see more videos in the Loving Your Nervous System series, where I will be giving more information and tools to support this process of being at home in the social engagement system. Thank you.